Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video for Gemstone Legends. In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 common mistakes that are easy to make when you're new or just starting out, and how you can avoid them. If you're new to Gemstone Legends, it's a game much like Empires and Puzzles, which is the primary game that I've been playing on my channel for a while, but I think there are some key things that they have done better, which I talked about in my video that was like 10 things that Gemstone Legends has done better than Empires and Puzzles. So that is found in the description down below. Additionally, in the description down below, you can find a download code as well as, a download link, as well as a promo code to get 50 free summons, some gems and gold, and a bunch of other stuff just for trying out the game. So if you're interested in claiming those rewards and trying out this game with me, click the download link, complete the tutorial, enter the promo code in the global chat within 3 hours of downloading the game and completing the tutorial, and you'll get all those free summons. So let me know if you have any luck and you get anything from those. Yeah, without further ado, let's jump into today's video. So with any new game, there are always a lot of things to learn, and depending on how quickly you figure those things out, a lot of potential mistakes that can be made, which can set your progress back. So what I'm trying to do is to explain those things for you so you're able to make the best use of your time, have the most fun with the game, and progress as far as you can, as fast as you can. So these 5 mistakes are all mistakes that I have made and have learned from that. I tend to be a pretty quick study, so I didn't make these mistakes for long, but I want to point them out to you so that you don't have the same issues. So the first mistake is not understanding how much the color of heroes that you choose matters. In this game, the special skills as well as the gems that you match all can have increased damage or decreased damage depending on the colors. So if I click the gear icon up here and how to play, there is a super helpful tooltip that talks about all this stuff. But if we go down to color affinity, you can see that looking at these bullet points here, this game is more sophisticated than Empires and Puzzles in terms of how the damage works. With damage being anywhere from -60% to +60%. And it explains down here an example of how to understand that. So the way the colors interact with one another are the same as in Empires and Puzzles. But if we look at an example here, let's look at one that we should all be familiar with, blue hero versus red hero. So if you're using a blue hero and attacking a red hero, the blue gemstones are going to deal... Actually, let's look back here real quick, which says that the damage modifier increases or decreases damage dealt and applies to both gemstone attacks and special abilities. For special abilities, modifiers only appear when there is a color affinity between the attacking hero and the attacked hero and gives +30% or -30%. So that's going to be a fixed number for all heroes. Where it differs is the gemstones. So if we look at a blue hero versus a red hero, you're getting this 60% increased damage when attacking with blue gemstones, so kind of no surprise there. Level +1, which is pretty interesting, is a blue hero that's using red, yellow, or purple gemstones, which in Empires and Puzzles wouldn't do any damage if you didn't have those heroes on your team. It's still doing +30% damage because it's coming from a blue hero. If you're using green gemstones, because green is weak to red, then it's neutral. And then blue versus red, there's no negative damage modifier. If we look at green versus red, which is normally weak, there's no positive damage modifiers. Blue are going to be neutral damage because blue is strong to red. And then green is going to be the absolute weakest, and the other ones are only going to be -30% damage. If we look at red, so based on that, this should make more sense now. If we look at red versus red, blue gemstones are still going to deal +30% damage because blue is strong against red. The other ones are going to be neutral. Green is going to be decreased damage, and there's no level +2 or level -2. So there's a lot of sophistication here. And if you don't keep this in mind, one, you can't reap these benefits, and two, the AI is pretty aggressive about exploiting these. So if you're on a stage like I am, fighting against a bunch of green heroes, they will tend to pretty ruthlessly attack the sorry, I'm trying to think about too many things at once. They will pretty ruthlessly attack the typically the blue hero. They might still be making some tweaks to how this AI is functioning, but the computer is not shy, as you can see, about really taking advantage of that color difference. So you want to keep this in mind, both so you can, like I mentioned before, reap the benefits of it, but also so you don't get annihilated by the by the computer. So in this case, I have 3 red heroes with me, and you can see that we will be doing higher damage than we normally would, as indicated by the orange there. So there's like red, orange, and yellow. Yellow seems to be neutral. Red is highest, and orange is in between. So make sure you keep this in mind. This is a super important one. So the next mistake is not using your multi-battle function every day. This is a way for you to, in my case with Gemstone Prime, which is kind of like their VIP pass, I get 65 attacks per day that it can string together in succession. So if you look at this, there's a bunch of settings you can set. Heroes, you can have it switch to after certain ones are leveled up. You can set a priority order for them to go through. So it's a great way to gain XP. It's a great way to level up your heroes. It's a great way to gain artifacts. It's just an important thing to do every day, and you don't have to do anything. You press start and it goes. And you can even say continue if I lose, auto refill energy if you need to, continue if all heroes reach their max level. So it's just an easy way to gain a bunch of XP, level up your heroes, and you don't even have to press start in between battles. It will just link all 65 battles together. If you don't have Gemstone Prime, it'll be 15, and that's even less time to do, but I do recommend Gemstone Prime if you want to have more of this. The other small thing I want to mention as part of this common mistake is the this XP boost thing here. If you gain these from events or other places, as soon as you claim it from your inbox, it becomes active, and you'll see that here. This will turn gold. The other one is Gemstone Prime here. So this is also a mistake that I made. But if you have one of these active, one, make sure you don't claim it from your inbox, which is the golden chest up here, until you are ready to use it. And once you do activate it, make sure to make the most of it. So that's a good time to do a multi-battle or to do a bunch of farming. So yeah, these are both a couple important things to know. I definitely made this mistake a few times, and I don't want you to do the same. So the third common mistake to avoid is not maxing your training camp as soon as possible. So if you click on training over here, you can see that you have 4 slots where you can put heroes in, and they passively gain XP. So this is something you can do overnight. This is something you can do for only certain heroes while you're leveling other heroes. This is something you can do just to develop feeders to use for ascensions. And there's one ready right now. So it costs 3,600 gems to get all of these slots unlocked and to the max. You're only given 1 slot to start, but I highly recommend doing this because it's going to be a really useful feature. And when you keep in mind that you can take a 1-star hero, level it up, ascend it with other 1-star heroes, keep repeating the process, take this 1-star hero all the way to 5 stars, and use that essentially as an ascension item for ascending a 5-star hero to 6 stars. So if you prefer to level your heroes by playing the map stages, or you're leveling some of them in the training camp as well, keep in mind that you can develop feeders in the training camp too to use for leveling up or to use for ascending your heroes. And I can't overstate this enough, but the fact that you don't need ascension items to ascend all your heroes is freaking amazing, and that you have a resource to passively level up those heroes to use for those ascensions is pretty awesome. So I don't know how you want to prioritize this. I feel like it's worth just buying the gems to level this thing up, because it's going to be such an important resource, and once you get it done, it's just ready to use. The one thing is you have to keep an eye on it. You can see that some of these, it only takes minutes between levels, so you want to make sure you check in on this periodically, and that also helps you get some of the rewards from your quests for being more active in the game. But this is a really important one. Make sure you utilize that. So this one is super important. Mistake number 4 to avoid is do not use other heroes to level up your heroes. You're going to have a bunch of extra heroes. You're going to have a bunch of bronze scrolls and silver scrolls that you can't really get that many good heroes from, but don't use those heroes just to level up your other heroes. As we just looked at, you've got this great training camp where you can passively level up your heroes. You can level them up from playing the map stages. You can use your multi-battle to level them up. Don't use other heroes to expedite that process. You do have these training dummies, which you can use to do that. But save your heroes for ascending other heroes, because that's where you can bypass the need for ascension items. So they're much more valuable used in that context, and you may find yourself, for example, let me see if I can find where it was. Leveled up a random 2-star hero. I'm going to use other 2-star heroes, which I don't need, to ascend this hero. You can see there's cauldrons, which, I don't really need to save 2-star cauldrons. But I can use these heroes to ascend, and then I'll have a 3-star hero, which I can use to ascend another 3-star hero. So save these heroes for ascensions, because that's a much better use of those resources, since there are so many great ways already to level up your heroes. So that's a really important one. So the final common mistake to avoid is not joining a guild early. And this is me right now. And for some reason I did the exact same thing with Empires and Puzzles, where for the longest time I just didn't join an alliance because I didn't understand it, and I was kind of slow to jump into the game. I wanted to understand what was going on first before I got involved in too many aspects of the game, and then realized, oh, I've been missing out on Titans this whole time and missing out on important loot, etc. So there are even more reasons to join what are called guilds in Gemstone Legends. The first is you get guild coins, which you can see I have none of up here in the bar at the top, which you can use to buy all sorts of stuff like gear, potions, scrolls, to be able to do more summons. Another reason is just by being active in the guild, you get free energy and gems from checking in. So it's another way just to get a influx of resources without really having to do anything. The last is by being in the guild boss thing, which you can see down here. Raid boss, I think, is the same thing. Guild boss, raid boss. And yeah, you can see it's prompting me to join one because you can't access it without that. But even without having high damage, just being involved in this, you get pieces of equipment, potions, gems. It's just like a bunch of free stuff for not even doing really much more than you already are in the game. So by not doing this, which is a mistake that I have made, so please do not make the same mistake. By not doing this, you're missing out on a lot of gems and other resources. It doesn't cost anything to join one. If you want to create one, I think it's 200 gems if you want to create one, or you can just find one that's open. So as I realized that this was a mistake, I am actively looking for a place to end up. So still working on that. Toyed around with the idea of creating my own guild, so I'll keep you guys posted if I end up doing that, because then I'll need some members to join, but I'm not sure what's going to be the best fit for me right now. But definitely don't avoid doing this, because it's just a bunch of free resources that you're missing out on, and nobody needs to be doing that. Alright, so this has been 5 common mistakes and how to avoid them. If you have any questions, be sure to ask those in the comments down below, and I'll try to respond to whatever I know how to answer on my own. But hopefully, just by hearing about this, if you're new to the game, you can avoid making these same mistakes and be in a much better position than I am. It hasn't taken me long to figure these things out, but it still has been a little bit of wasted time. So if you're interested in checking out the game, in the description down below you can find a download link, promotional code to get a bunch of free summons, gold, gems, potions, I think, other stuff as well. So just click the download link, complete the tutorial. Within 3 hours of downloading the game and completing the tutorial, enter the code #Spock# in the global chat down below, and you'll see all this cool stuff show up to your inbox, which is that gold chest at the top of the screen, and you'll be off to a great start. So I started without those things, so you'll be even off to a better start than I was before. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.